Hi, I'm Paul, and here I'm going to demonstrate the answer to a IELTS Speaking Part 1 question. Do you prefer to read on paper or on a screen? So I've recorded my answer so that I can answer in a totally natural way. I'm going to play that, and then I'm going to draw your attention to one particular point. There are several speaking features we could mention, but I want to focus on one. And I want to emphasize that what I teach is a system which enables you to perform better in the exam. And in this answer, what we are using is a structure or a pattern where we say, well, personally, I would much rather do A than B. And you can use this in many situations, but certainly when you have a choice of do you prefer to read on paper or on a screen when you're choosing between two things. So first of all, I'll play the answer and then I'll make a comment on it. Well, personally, I would much rather read a physical, normal book than on screen or an e-book. There are lots of reasons, to be honest. I like to make notes as quite often, and uh, I don't need to have a battery or carry some machine. I can just put the book in my bag. I can fold down the pages, and I can easily go back and check something and go backwards and forwards. And actually, I find it quite difficult to do that with a screen or some ebook. So definitely, I like things on paper and physical um, uh, book or document. Okay, so I stopped that. So that's my answer. Now, there are lots of speaking features like using fillers, rephrasing, um, hesitating, giving myself time to think about things, not in long periods of silence, but just restructuring what I'm saying, because this is how people normally talk. And this is something you can practice generally. But I want to focus here that at the beginning I say, well, personally, so those are my fillers. Well, personally, I would much rather read a physical, normal book than on a screen or an e-book. Now, there I'm chunking my language, but I'm using the structure, the pattern. I would much rather A than B, do A than B. And so this is a very nice pattern to use in task one answers. And so in my system, you will definitely use this a couple of times in task one. So I want to draw your attention to that, and you can think about how to use that in answers. But notice that I don't just say, oh, well, I would much rather read on paper, a book on paper than on a screen, because that is reading style. So if you want to practice, you should really play it again, listen again, and try to copy me, not copy the words exactly, or not just the words, but try to copy the chunking, the phrasing, the stress, and using that structure. And then you decide to yourself that you're going to use it in the exam, and you think about the type of question where you can use it. Okay, we'll stop there.